Bonjour à tous. La grande famille, c'est quoi? C'est une conversation où j'invite des personnes au grand cœur. Vous y retrouverez des femmes et des hommes de multiples nationalités qui ont un point commun, celui de partager un morceau de leur vie. Alors sans plus attendre, je laisse place au podcast de la grande famille.
Welcome, Aleksander, on the podcast La Grande Famille. It's a huge pleasure for me to record it. So we are going to spend time together and just explain us your feeling, your experience, what you learn, what you love, you dislike, and share with us what was the step for you to arrive until today and your current life.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Can you please explain us who you are, where you come from?
Yes, my name is Aleksander. I'm 29 years old and I come from the United States. I'm from Texas.
All right. And why did you decide to come in France to live with a family and be au pair?
Yes, I actually wanted to move here to get my master's degree. And but before I started school, I wanted to have a year of just living here and immersing in the culture, learning the language, and just getting comfortable with the environment before I embarked on that journey. And so I decided to become an au pair.
Okay. But it's not only with the goal of to study, because to be au pair, it's mandatory to have some kids, experience with kids, and to love them, most of all.
Yes, exactly. And before I was an au pair, I was an elementary school teacher for 5 years. So being an au pair kind of just made sense for me since that was already something I liked to do in my life before.
All right. So what did you study until now?
I studied history and psychology in my undergraduate program. And then for my master's, I want to switch to marketing.
All right.
Yes.
That's great. And why this switch?
I don't know. I feel like with history, I think it's a bit limiting on jobs that you can do. And I feel like I'm a very creative kind of person. So I wanted something that I could use my creativity a bit more and that would give me a few more options in potential career paths. And I felt like marketing is something I'm very interested in anyway. And so, yeah, that's kind of how I made that decision.
All right. And why you studying in France better than in US?
I think I wanted to study here for a couple of reasons. One, I think university is a lot cheaper here as compared to the United States. And I also am I grew up in a military household. My dad was in the military for 20 years. So I'm very used to moving around and experiencing different cultures. And France was somewhere that's kind of always had my interest since I was younger. So I figured I should just try it.
All right. Can you talk about your family and if you have some brother and sister, the job of your parents?
Yes, my dad, he was a military police officer for 20 years. He's retired now, but he still works for the Army. He does anti terrorism. My mother's a stay at home mom. She's always just raised my sister and I. My sister is 7 years older than me, and she lives in Seattle, Washington, and she works in business and marketing as well.
Okay. Did you travel with your parents when you were a child?
Yes, we traveled a lot. I was actually born in Alaska. After that, we moved to Virginia. After that, we moved to Dallas, Texas, and then San Antonio, Texas, and then we just traveled so many different places because of the military. And my sister as well, her husband was in the military, so she was actually in Europe before me. They were stationed in Germany, so she's been to France quite a few times, and she's one of the people that kind of inspired me and said, hey, maybe this is somewhere that you would enjoy.
All right. How did you know the au pair program?
I actually kind of just looked it up. I was looking up options of ways to move here and work and potentially study. And that came up on the internet. And then I asked my sister about it, and she said, oh, I've heard of that program before. And so she told me a little more about it. And then I kind of just started just doing a little more research and looking on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, different platforms. Yeah, that's kind of how it came about.
And did you know in US some family who host some foreign au pairs?
No, I didn't know at all. I don't think it's as big in the US. For us, it's mainly the foreign exchange program. So high school students will come and they'll just study. But in terms of an au pair, no, I had never heard of anything in America like that, or no one I knew did it.
All right, because you know that is more famous in US than in France or in Europe.
Yeah, that's surprising. I didn't know about it. I think part of it is growing up military though. I can't see them allowing that on a military installation since only certain people can get on. But I'm sure outside of the installation, it probably is a lot more popular.
Yes, yes, and that's why I ask you because in US there is a lot of family who have some au pair, but a lot comparing to Europe because you are much more numerous than us, and for me it's a lot,
Yes, exactly.
and it's not used to have some au pair boy, even if we have each year we have more and more boys who want to live the experience, but it's most regarding the family side. For family in the tradition and the culture, they are more convenient to host a girl. And can you talk with us about your host family in France? What is your relation with them?
Yeah, well, this is actually my second host family because my first host family, I was in Bordeaux for 2 months, but I was only there for the summer to help the son with his English. So I was there first, and then I came here, and this family also has two boys, and it's been a great experience in both families. I think it also probably makes them more comfortable that the children are boys, so it's just a little more convenient, I think, in that sense. But yeah, it's been great, and I think the fact that I have been a teacher for so long, it also kind of made the families more comfortable too, because I had already working with kids or worked with kids of that age for so many years. So it wasn't like, oh, this is my first time working with young children or doing these roles. It's something I've done for a while anyway in my professional life. So it wasn't a difficult transition or anything like that.
All right. Yes, I can understand it. What are the things that surprise you arriving in France in the difference of culture between US and France?
I think there's quite a few differences in culture, but nothing too shocking. I think like one thing, for example, is meals. I think meals in France are a lot later. For example, like for dinner, for example, is a lot later than in the United States. Here, right when the kids get out of school, they have goûter, and for us in America, we're eating dinner at around that time, around 5 o'clock. That's our dinner. So I had to get used to that. Breakfast is also a lot smaller here. I would say it's just like maybe some bread, some coffee, and that's it. As opposed to in America, we're typically having like a full meal, eggs, bacon, sausage, things like that. So I think the food is a major difference, and then also I think getting around. I walk a lot more here than I would in the states. I think public transportation is just a
Mm.
lot bigger here. Walking's a lot bigger here as opposed to America. Everyone kind of just has cars, and everything is so spread out. You can't really walk everywhere. But yeah, there's just a couple of minute differences.
All right. Yes, that's true. That regarding the mobility is very, very
Hmm.
different because we have some downtown in France where everything is much closer than in US. In US, it's impossible to go by
Exactly.
walk between two places. It's too far. And do you drive in France?
No, not yet. I don't drive in France, and it's mainly because a lot of the cars are manual here, and I only
Mhm.
know how to drive automatic. But I'm planning to start pretty soon and get used to that.
So, what is a typical timetable for you when you take care of the children during the school period?
For me, I'm typically not with the children until they get out of school. So I pick them up from school. Their school is walking distance from the house. So I'll walk to the school. I'll get them at around 4:15, and then we'll kind of just do some type of activities for the day. So sometimes when the weather permits, we'll go to the park and we'll play, or at home we'll do different activities. They like music a lot. They like just role playing and theater kind of activities. So we'll do things like that for a couple of hours until about 6:30, and then that's pretty much it. So, and then on Wednesdays they don't have school in France. That's another cultural difference as well. The young kids don't have school on Wednesdays, so they actually have different classes that they go to, like a dance class and an athletics class. So I also take them to those on Wednesdays, and yeah, just kind of whatever activities they want to do after school.
During the day, so you're completely free until 5 o'clock
Mhm.
when you pick them up at school. So what do you do during your day?
It typically depends on the day. A lot of times I like to go to the gym. There's a gym not too far, so I'll go there. I've been applying for school, so I've also been doing things for that throughout the day. Sometimes I'll just go out and explore the area and different things. So it really just depends on the day, but I try to keep myself busy.
All right. And with family, do you go out with them? Do you spend some times with them during the weekend?
Yes, sometimes I do spend times with them. Me and the dad are pretty close. He's very into basketball, and I'm into basketball as well. So sometimes, if he has a game, I'll go to his games. Or he also plays chess, and I like to play chess. So we've been to his chess club different times. So yeah, we try to hang out outside as well.
All right. Did you meet some friends in France?
Yes, I've met a few. I actually do music, so I meet some people through that, and I also have been working with the local basketball team in Saint Genevieve du Bois. So I meet people through that, and I work with kids who are about 16, 17 years old. So that also keeps me pretty busy as well.
That's cool. What are your plans for the future?
I want to continue here, finish here, and then after, kind of, see what schools I get into, see where I'm gonna go. I've been applying to just different master's programs, and so hopefully within the coming weeks or months, I'll get some answers and figure out what the next step is gonna be after I'm finished here.
And does this experience allow you to learn about you?
Yes, 100%. I think it's helped me step out of my comfort zone and do a lot of things that I haven't done before. And I think especially in an au pair role, when you are with the kids and it's just you and you're in public, for example, you kind of have to step up as the voice in the parent role, because the kids are only 5 and 3. So if there's any type of business that needs to be handled or conversation that needs to be had, that's my responsibility. So I think it's forced me to step out of my comfort zone and just be more confident in all aspects.
Yes, it's a big responsibility that parents give you, and you are with the kids on behalf of the parents during the day. So yes, it's something important. And yes, if you no, I don't know if it's important, but you have conscious that teaching and spending time with kids is having an impact of what we give them and what we teach.
Exactly. I found that to be true. And I think being a teacher and having that experience, I understand how important that role is. So I try to, take it serious.
Yeah, of course. Do you have some advice that you could give to someone who would like to be au pair?
I would say go into it open, not have any expectations, just kind of go into it open and ask a lot of questions to your potential host family before you get here. So you're kind of on the same page, because I interviewed with multiple families, and you kind of just have to find the best one for you and your personality. So I would say make sure you have that open dialogue with them. And even when you get here, still have that relationship where you feel that you can ask them any questions, or you can, ask for reassurance on different things. Just know that there's no such thing as too many questions when it has to do with someone's child. So don't be scared to ask. Sometimes I'll ask the same thing 3 times just to make sure that everyone's on the same page, especially if there's a language barrier, or if you're not quite comfortable in the language or with the just what's supposed to happen. Just make sure that you're asking for that reassurance all the time so everyone can be happy, rather than assuming and then something goes wrong.
And yes, for sure. Is there something that have been difficult for you?
I would say the most difficult part is sometimes you don't know what challenges you're going to be faced with. I think sometimes there's just challenges that come up that you can't prepare for. So, for example, say the child gets sick and then they can't go to school that day, so you have to work that day, and your schedule changes because you already have plans that day, things like that. But I think you have to just be open and know that that has the potential to happen. And so even if something might not be on your physical schedule, if something comes up that obviously involves the children and the parents can't do it, that's when you're going to have to step up. So just be kind of prepared, and be open for whatever could happen.
Yes, and that's life, because during the life we have never things that are happening as we have planned it. So it's
Exactly.
we learn it also with time, that we can have control on everything, and sometimes things are not happening as we have planned it or we wanted it. And do you think that you will keep some relation with your host families in the future?
Yeah, I think 100% I will. I think since we have found interest outside of just being an au pair here, I think that we'll definitely keep contact for that. And also because of the kids, I think when you're here for a long period of time, you grow a bond with the kids, and they grow a bond with you. And so that's definitely something that I would want to continue even after I leave.
Where you think you will make your life, in France or in US or in another place?
I'm not sure. I think I'm definitely going to go to school here, and that's going to be another 2 years of getting the master's degree. So after that, who knows what'll happen? I think I'll have to reassess in a couple years and see. But at least for the next few years, I'll be here.
All right. And do you speak French now?
A little bit, but it's a work in progress.
Which language do you speak with children?
I speak French with the kids. They don't speak any English, but the older one, I am teaching him a few English phrases here and there. So he's learning a bit too.
Okay, so yes, if you speak French to the kids, it's okay for you.
Yeah, it's okay. It goes.
I always say that when you are able to understand kids in another language, you are able to understand everybody, because the language of the kids is so complicated, because they don't make any effort to spread, to articulate, and they have their own words, or when they cut some words.
Yeah, and the older one, when I make mistakes, he's always the first one to tell me, "No, this is what we say."
And I love that, because I love this relationship between au pairs and children and kids. And I think that it makes sense of lots of learning for them, because to accept someone from abroad who live in a different country, who speak another language, even if they don't know a large sense of capacity to share and to be open-minded. And as well, when they can make the correction when you don't pronunciate correctly a word, they ask them that even if they are children and they are young, they can teach something to someone who is older than them. And this way of doing helps them to build their self-esteem and self-confidence. Because sometimes when we are young and small, we think that as we are young and small, we are not important and we don't know.
Exactly.
But to have a relation with someone who don't speak the same language as us, make us understand that, yes, even if we're small and young, we are able to teach something to someone older and tall and big.
Exactly. Yeah, I told the parents the same thing. I said I've been learning French for 3 years now, and I've learned more from him in the 7 months I've been here than both of the years before that. Just because he's always correcting me and teaching me new words that I've never heard, and just everything. And so I'm very thankful for that experience.
Thank you. Is there something more you want to share with us, Alexander?
No, that's pretty much it. And yeah, just even more advice to future au pairs is maybe try to learn as much French as possible before you come here. I do think that definitely helped me a lot. And I think that's the reason that this family was also a little bit more comfortable with me too, since I kind of did have a grasp of the language a bit. They knew that they could leave me with their kid and be comfortable, and I would still be able to interact because, for example, when I'm at their school, I speak French with the teachers. A lot of the teachers don't speak English fluently, so I have to be able to do that and know what they're telling me when I pick the kids up. So I would say just try to learn as much as possible. Listen to podcasts, watch YouTube, everything that you do in your language. There's the same thing available on the internet in French as well. So just try to learn as much as you can, and I think that kind of gives you an advantage, and it will just make you feel more comfortable that you know what's going on around you.
All right, thank you very much. Did you know butterfly before coming as an au pair? Have you heard before about butterfly?
No, I didn't. I just looked it up on the internet, and I was just looking up au pair, and that was one of the first links that came up. And so I clicked on it, and I was like, oh, this is pretty interesting.
Do you have some friends who you know who would like to be au pair?
None that I can think of, because most of my friends are around my age, so they're a little older, and so none that I can think of. But if I do think of any, I'll make sure to let them know. Because my little cousin, she's I think 16 or 17 now, so maybe by the time she graduates high school, it'll be something she's interested in.
So at the end of this podcast, thank you very much for this time we have shared.
Yeah, thank you.
It was a pleasure to record with you. C'est la fin de cet épisode. Je vous remercie pour votre écoute. Comme à chaque fois, j'ai pris un réel plaisir à mieux connaître notre invité. Et si vous aussi, vous aimez la grande famille, je vous invite à le partager sur les réseaux sociaux et à en parler autour de vous. Et surtout, je vous serai extrêmement reconnaissante de prendre 2 minutes pour mettre un avis 5 étoiles sur la plateforme d'écoute de votre choix. Je vous dis à très bientôt.